Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making miso sake clams with soba. This is my version of pasta with white clam sauce. So I have 24 clams. I've soaked them in salt water overnight just to get them to release a little grit. And I've given them a little rinse and just covered them with a damp towel. For our miso butter, we've done this before. We need 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1 tablespoon of white miso, and 1 teaspoon of gochujang. Next, we're going to chop up 3 scallions and 3 cloves of garlic. Now I'm cooking 1 pound of soba. I'm using this strainer double boiler situation just because I want to reserve some of that pasta liquid in case we need it. And I'm only cooking this for 5 minutes because we are going to finish cooking this in the sauce. After 5 minutes, we're going to drain this off and rinse this thoroughly under cold water to remove any excess starch. Now you wouldn't do this with normal pasta, but with soba you definitely do want to do this step. We're going to pop that into a bowl and then drizzle in 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. This is not only going to flavor our soba, but also prevent it from sticking. Then in a large Dutch oven over medium heat, I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of our miso butter, along with all of our chopped scallion and garlic, letting that melt a little bit. Then we're going to pour in half of a cup of sake and 2 tablespoons of mirin. We're going to let this simmer for about 5 minutes just to burn off some of that alcohol. Just giving this a little stir, making sure that miso butter is integrated throughout. And after 5 minutes, we can add in that remaining tablespoon and a half of miso butter. Next, go in our clams, popping a lid on this and just going in and shaking this every now and again. And as the clams open, I'm removing them and placing them in a bowl because I don't want these to overcook. So as they open, I'm just popping these in a bowl and giving the time for the rest of them to open up. If you find some of your clams haven't opened, like this last little holdout, you just really want to discard that because it's not safe to eat. Now we're going to add in all of our soba noodles. And we're only going to cook this for about 2 minutes. I really want that flavor to get into the soba and for this to heat through. We're going to give this a taste for seasoning. We shouldn't need too much salt because miso is very salty, but I am going to add in half teaspoon of kosher salt and 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Then we can tip in all of our clams again and let this cook for about 30 seconds to a minute just to heat those clams through again. Then to serve, I'm just plopping a nice serving of these soba noodles into the bottom of my bowl, then topping with as many clams as your heart desires. Don't forget to drizzle some of that sauce over the top. If you find your sauce is thickened up, just add in a little ladleful of your pasta cooking water. That'll thin it out. We're going to garnish with a little scallion and sesame seed, and this is looking pretty good. Now let's go ahead and give this a taste. Soba has picked up that gorgeous miso butter and sake sauce that we've cooked the clams in. The clams are plump and succulent. They're not overcooked because we pulled them out as soon as they opened. This is really wonderful, satisfying, and delicious, and a really fast meal to make after a busy day at work. This comes together pretty easily and pretty quickly. But there it is, miso sake clams with soba noodles. I really do hope you all try to make this. Thank you for spending some time with me. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thank you again, and until next time, happy cooking.